Hey YouTube, what you know good? He is the Reverend, this is Project KNM, and we're back with some more of that fresh art goodness. So, what are we working on today? Well, this is number 9 out of 31 for 2020's OC-tober. I did 31 drawings for 31 days, featuring OCs made by me, made by friends of mine, made by associates of mine, or made by just fellow artists out there. This is another one of my particular OCs, and this was the second out of 2 illustrations, character ideas I came up with during my college class for illustration specifically for animation. We had to come up with some simplified ideas, simple characters that were just complex enough to stand out, but simple enough that they could be made for a Western animation. One of the examples that they told us to think about was the WB's animated series for Justice League, or Batman the Animated Series. Stuff like that. Where even though the characters were simplified, you could still tell who they were. In the previous video, I drew the main idea that I had, which was Cosmic Jimmy, a disco-inspired intergalactic superhero. But I also mentioned that he had a partner, a sidekick, if you will. That's where this comes in. Ooh-wee. This is the Astro-Pup. Nothing too fancy. In fact, not a lot to talk about other than he's a occasionally bipedal, like, sheepdog. What makes him stand out is his rainbow colored afro. I'm not quite sure how I was going to make that work for an animation, but who knows, we could have made it work in some particular manner. Depends on where the colors go, I guess. But yeah, the idea was Cosmic Jimmy the Astro-Pup would be just like a two-man or one-man, one-dog fighting force. I could see them being like almost like space detectives, if you will. Occasionally getting jobs from a particular hand in like the intergalactic police force, and being like that group that goes headfirst into just weird operations and having to just travel through space with like either by themselves or with tiny spaceships. I'm not entirely sure how Cosmic Jimmy was supposed to travel through space, but the one that I do know would be from the Astro-Pup. He had that giant bone. It would be like an anti-gravitational, like an anti-gravity bone that can propel itself. I don't know how in the world that those physics are supposed to work, especially since he's going to be traveling in space. I didn't even picture these guys wearing helmets while they travel in space. I still just don't. They have no clue how I was going to make that work, but at the end of the day, this was just supposed to be just some character designs for a potential animation. They didn't expect us to actually come up with backstories and all this, but the more I think about it, the more I kind of want to see where this was going, and the more I think about it, the more I kind of want to, not even kind of, I really do, I really want to do a one-off comic for Cosmic Jimmy and the Astro-Pup. It's a silly idea the more I think about it, and especially when I keep saying the names Cosmic Jimmy and Astro-Pup. But the idea that I have in my head right now for like a one-off, I can see it working, kind of. I just need to get really, I just have to improve on drawing spaceships. But I can see an idea in my head right now that might actually work. And it might work off better. Excuse me. It might actually work better as a comic rather than an animated series. But if it did well, maybe, I don't know, maybe one of those studios would actually consider, making an animated adaptation. I don't know. Just saying. Unfortunately, unlike the previous video when I was drawing Cosmic Jimmy, I don't really have a lot to say about this because this is essentially like an extension of that very video. So if you need any more details on what I was aiming for when it comes to the design, I pretty much said everything I needed to say in that previous video, but I'll just, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of that. Basically, you want to design. The idea in the class was for the final exam or final project, come up with a simple design that could fit in a Western animation, and character design is just not my strong suit. It's something I still need to work on. But if you needed something really simple, I was able to at least do that. And thankfully, this is what I was. Thankfully, I came up with something that the professor thought was not only hilarious but a good idea. I think they really like the disco aesthetic, or maybe they just like the groovy hair that I gave for Jimmy and this pup here. Cosmic Jimmy has a big old orange pompadour, and the Astro-Pup has this rainbow colored afro. Sometimes just one significant aspect or trait is all you need to really get someone's attention. I think we really got the attention with this. The more I see these designs, the more I kind of want to do something with them if I ever get some time. So before we wrap it up, same question that I asked in the previous video. Does the concept of Cosmic Jimmy the Astro-Pup catch your fancy? Does it get your interest? And if I decide to actually do a one-off, do you think you would actually take a second to read it? It probably wouldn't be too long. You'd be able to get through it real quick. I mean, it would be a one-off after all. It'd probably be the size of like 1 or 2 chapters of manga at most. But just give you a little taste of how I do things. The art style will most likely change too. This is from back in 2020. I have really got to make more time for myself and start dumping these videos out here. I gotta make some room on my computer. But yeah, if this interests you or not, just let me know. If it's a stupid idea, let me know. At this point, I'm just trying to start a conversation with you guys, get some, have a little back and forth, and let you guys know that I'm legitimately curious what you guys think. This channel is not just a place to show you my illustrations, but it's also essentially my own personal online journal. Get my thoughts out there, and since I'm posting it publicly, I like to hear your thoughts on some of the stuff that I bring up as well. So if the idea of Cosmic Jimmy the Astro-Pup interests you, or you think it's stupid, let me know in the comments. With that said, let's go ahead and wrap it up for this video. As always, if you like what I do, consider liking, commenting, subscribing. And and I also have several different social media pages, so you can check those out. Links are in the description. And let's just go ahead and just wrap this up. As always, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Memento mori. And I will catch you all in the next one. Kill the feed.